Ready, go, ready, go, ready, go, ready, go. Ready, go, ready, go, ready, go, ready, go. Yeah, you know what it is. Home of the West Coast offense. Frisco to Stockton, Modesto to Fresno, we get it poppin'. Reppin' my team, when you see me, you know everything. Ready, go, ready, go, ready, go, ready, go. I put it down for the Niners all across the globe. Ready, go, ready, go.
What's up, everybody? I know it's been a couple of weeks, man, but it's good to come back with the Red and Gold podcast, man. What's going on, my guy? Let's welcome my guy, George, man. How's it going, dude?
Not much. I mean, good. I mean, it's been a couple weeks, like you said, and we're just ready to get back to it now. I mean, I could say that I'm a person with a bachelor's degree. Before I couldn't. I mean, I graduated in the last couple weeks, so that's a good accomplishment for sure.
Yeah, dude. It's kind of been like a little bit going on with our schedule here and there, but, I've been kind of resting myself a little more than usual. I haven't been too active on live shows, but, things are kind of just slowing up a little more, so I guess things come at a better timing, I guess. Speaking of something that we need to talk about, man, like, what's going on with this? Everybody's sleeping on the Niners, bro. Is everybody sleeping on us, underestimated us?
Nah, I think for sure people are counting us out, and I feel like in a fan perspective, and instead of a podcast host perspective, I think I like it like this, just because back in 2021, we were slept on because we were losing games, and we came back out, went to NFC Championship. I think I don't like the noise. I like being low key and stuff, and
Low-key,
I like surprising people. I like that type of aspect, being that underdog.
Yeah. Like, when the less they talk about us, the better. We have more to prove. And, like the Robert Saleh, man, it's just he's got something in store as we speak, but it's pretty quiet right now until training camp kicks in. But the only thing that's more relevant to talk about as far as the updates is Nick Martin injured his thumb, which was a couple weeks ago. Some people were thinking, oh no, we got a guy who's injured, man, but it's a minor injury. It doesn't require surgery from my understanding, and it seemed like he
Yeah,
was going through
well,
it after that injury.
what I've been reading into it, yeah, I heard it's like obviously a broken thumb isn't minor, but how everybody's saying that he's gonna be all right because it didn't require surgery. But then again, it's like, yeah, we're so like worried because the injury bug has plagued us for the last couple of seasons or like before. But I mean, it's football, it's physical. People are gonna get hurt. I think Nick Martin's gonna be just fine because he can still take the mental reps. He can still use his legs, get in there, and not go all crazy. But I think he should just be fine going into training camp.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I think for some of these type of injuries, you have pain tolerance is the difference. Like, I think for some guys who've experienced a bigger injury, you would have to wrap it up with something to protect it a little bit. But if you can't play through that, then that's where they don't want you to play. But if my coach once told me, man, if you can handle those tolerant pains, man, then you can just go out there and just put something under it.
No, yeah, for sure. Because my senior year, I played with a separated shoulder, so I was like, if you could handle the pain, you got high pain tolerance. You know what? So be it. But if you don't want long term issues, I mean,
Yeah.
follow the protocol.
That was one of my biggest mistakes, bro, was like I didn't show no signs of like going with that kind of like thing because I was just like not telling the coaches, hey, man, I'm not that badly hurt. But in reality, bro, didn't even know I had a serious injury until the following day where I had a broken ankle. I'm like, shit, didn't even know
Yeah,
that. But I was
exactly.
playing
Because
through it.
that adrenaline rush gets you.
Yeah, it does. And then the next day I just feel like I couldn't even move. I'm like, shit. But it
Yeah, I
happens,
get
bro.
that
That's
for sure.
like, yeah, and then I told the teammates the following day, like, what happened. They say, oh, shit, I didn't even know you injured yourself.
Yeah,
It's
no,
just like the adrenaline, like you said, dude. I had some little adrenaline. But speaking of a certain player, bro, this guy's coming off an ACL surgery. He's training, dude. I just seen a video, dude. This guy's on track to maybe make it pretty quick recovery, man.
no, and I think his recovery is gonna be right on track just because it happened last game of the season, I believe, right, versus Cardinals.
Yeah.
I and he's 21 weeks post op. He's just like my friend because he had surgery too. So I'm just like, I think he'll be ready to go. He looks good. I mean, If you're 21 weeks post op and you're lifting that much on the squat rack, you look pretty good to me.
Yeah, health
Yeah.
wise. Tommy, come on. I never said Trent was washed. Never said nothing about Trent. I think you're referring to Jake Brendo. No, I think, okay, if you want to talk about Trent Williams, man, I think he's already showed his commitment to football, bro. I don't think we got to question him because he was out there.
No, yeah, Trent Williams. I feel like he's gonna, like he said, he's not gonna retire with gas left in his tank. I feel like he retires. I want him as a Trent Williams fan. I want him to walk away with in the sunset, like with a ring. That
Yeah, at
would be
least
the
get a ring.
perfect.
At least retire
Yeah,
with a championship on top, man. Go on the sunset, man, and just get that ring is what they all say. But sometimes long term you want to have your body healthy, bro. That's the only
no,
difference.
exactly. Like he's about to be 40. He got kids. He's got daughters, I believe. And it's just like I. How much more do you got? You know, it's like how much more do you got? We just gotta finish the job. I believe like if we would have won that Super Bowl in Vegas, that was his last year. He would have went off in the
Yeah,
sunset.
he had one of his off games. I think in that Super Bowl he didn't quite play his best because there
Yeah.
were some games. There was that part of the game he kind of looked off and all that stuff. And yeah, it's good to see you, John Jay. Long time no see. It's good to see some people in the comment section. I know I haven't been too active, man. I've been too quiet because I kind of been too focused on other stuff. So it's like things are looking promising, man. So looking at this upcoming season, bro, what are you looking forward to? Like just like from everybody's perspective, what's on your guys' mind? As a faithful, what are you looking forward to this upcoming season?
I think if I could speak for most of the faithful, I think I'm excited for defense to have that turnaround. Robert Sala's back. He's putting his thoughts into it. Bryce Huff just got traded to the Niners. That's gonna be a high low risk, high reward. He's gonna come in, most definitely do something because he had his most dominant years under Salah. And one big topic that I've been seeing these last couple weeks is talking about the secondary. I think our secondary is just fine. I mean, we could use a little help, maybe a more veteran presence, but I think our secondary would do just fine.
Yeah, I think they're kind of like overlooking that secondary because as long as our defensive line can create the pressure, we can actually make up for that. I think the one concerning factor is okay. So when you have two of your safety starters out, right,
Yeah,
you're going with the backup quality, and I think after that it gets lower. But cornerback wise, you look at the depth and you're like thinking maybe we might want to add another veteran, but I think you want to give the younger guys a chance. Like Daryl Luter has yet to have an opportunity.
yeah,
Trey Brown, I can see why we got him because he would fit the system. But then you look at a guy like Upton Stout, kind of fits right into the system of what we want to do as a nickel. So there's different ways how we can play in the secondary.
yeah.
Like
Because
I look at a guy in the secondary who would fit well in that scheme, So maybe you want to look into a cornerback, maybe for competition, but I don't think it's necessary, like everybody says.
no, yeah, I feel like Renardo Green is gonna work great with Demo on the side with the whole offseason at the starting opposite side, and I mean, I get it. You see names like Jair Alexander. I guess we were never really in
We
that
were
mix.
never
We
in
were,
it. It was just those topics that we had to be in the mix somehow. Like, how
yeah,
come it's always us in the mix, but we never do it?
exactly. And it's just like I feel like Ramsey would be good, but it's just like would he come in and like be like that Richard Sherman type player? Bring in that bring in that dog. But it's just like we got a demo for that. So it's really
Yeah.
like what we want to do. But I mean, depth is always good.
Not the one thing about this cornerback group is like if it's going to come down to this lineup with Upton Stout playing nickel and Lenore and then Green playing on that side, I feel like those are the three most confident guys in the cornerback position. Like they got a
Yeah,
lot to talk about.
yeah, most definitely, and especially with Solid coming back, he had Kwan Williams, right there at the nickel. He was amazing. Like that's
Yeah.
the ups and stout build right there. Like I feel like he's gonna fit in right there. I mean, anybody who doesn't trust in this system is just like gonna be it's gonna be an eye opening experience for them because obviously
Yeah,
we've seen what Salah could do. We're so confident with Salah in the past years that he was with us that anybody he brought in, we're like, oh no, he's good, and we still got Chris Kaserig operating our D line. I mean, he developed great D linemen. It's like we just gotta trust the process, you know.
yeah. Got to trust the process on how Salah builds his defense. Like, there's a lot of factors, but I was looking at PFF grade and all the other stuff, and quite a few other guys that I was talking to. This was a shocker. Like, I don't understand how PFF put our receiving core at number 5, bro. Is this like okay? We lost Deebo Samuel, but does this make up for the loss? Because we have a lot of young guys that are going to get some opportunities. So maybe the hype is for real. We'll see.
I I honestly believe the hype. I mean, we love Debo. He brought us good memories. He brought us big plays, but with getting rid of Debo, I don't think people understand that it puts us in a position where we're building around Brock, and Brock needs people who can separate off the from the
Yeah,
when we
speed
hike the
wise.
ball. So it's like with Pearsall, Ayuk, Demarcus Robinson, when he comes back and plays, like we got those type of receivers that can like create
Step in.
separation, and that's what we need, and that's what we're gonna see, and especially with C-Mac back in the backfield, you're gonna see a whole type of different offense flourish, and especially just because hopefully Shanahan's not in his head, and hopefully who's our OC now, Kubiak, can
Oh, Kubiak's
yeah.
technically like he's kind of like in the Mike McDaniel's role where he kind of does exactly the same thing before he became a head coach.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like hopefully Kubiak like could get Shanahan out of that ego and be like, "Hey, bro, like keep running the ball. That's the hot hand right now. Then we can, pass the ball a little later on."
Yeah, I feel concerned that we might overuse Christian McCaffrey, and I feel like we might need to balance it more. Balance more into that offense. But I think it comes down to how we are going to utilize that offense. But here's a good question by John Jay. Let's just answer this question. Question: Can Trent Williams still play at a high level? I worry that his age is catching up. I feel like for his age, he's kind of maintained his body control, like as far as like staying healthy. I just think the only concern factor with Trent Williams is we need a quality backup to step in for him at times.
Yeah,
That's where I'm concerned about. I don't have a concern with Trent because he's played for so long and he doesn't seem to miss a step. It's just he might miss a couple games here and there. But I feel like we need to eventually replace him at some point. I think he's
and
got maybe another year, and I think we have to plan ahead at the Trent Williams.
no, yeah, for sure. And I thought that this year was that year to plan ahead because there was great tackles. This draft had a lot of talent, but even with the Michael Williams pick, I liked it just because you know we're gonna go back to building up the D line again. But you're not wrong. I mean, I feel like we can find that replacement now, so we won't be like stuck having to play catch up again after Trent, finally tries to call it quits.
Yeah, we're gonna have to need a plan ahead, but I've looked at a lot of the practices from what I was told, and I'm hearing a lot of buzz about Austin Pleasant looking like in really good shape and actually playing really well. That even the guy that we just signed in free agency, bro, he didn't even last a full couple days. They just cut this guy.
No, yeah, and that's what I've been hearing that Pleasant and what's his name, Barch.
Barch has been
Pleasant and
mostly
Barch.
playing the guard position, but at the tackle spot, I think Pleasant has been mostly good at that tackle spot.
Yeah, and that I mean that's great. What he's in his mid 20s like me. I think he's what 24, 25, or like
Mm,
26.
I think he's 27.
Oh, I mean that's perfect, especially just because when you got somebody like Trent Williams double that age, you're already about to hit 40. I mean, O
Yeah.
linemen can play until about high 30s, so that's a good replacement to have and ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys think offensive line is a concern, then why not we go get other options? I just don't think the Niners feel that way. But if there was a guy that I would like us to get personally, just for depth purposes, I would say get Will Hernandez. This guy would fit the mold, but I don't think they want to get him just to get him. He has to really fit into our system.
No, yeah, and that's for sure. If you're as a football fan, if you saw the Niners draft, I think they were filling holes more than anything. They were thinking we're thinking like the Eagles, like Howie Roseman. We're filling holes because we believe in the team rather than okay, get we did get best available, but we're getting best available to what's gonna fit the Niner mold, not
Yeah,
where the fans want. You know?
but the difference with Philadelphia was they went all in with offensive line, so that's the only difference. They kind of invested more on that position, which I feel like at times we do need to put more emphasis to it, but they don't feel like it's that concern.
I mean, as what I've seen in press conferences and all that, they believe in this whole line. They believe in uh Brendel. They believe in Drake behind him. They believe in all these guys. So I mean, at this point, it's just kind of like, okay, if you believe, then I guess we got to ride the wave with you guys. You know?
We got to see how it plays out because it's one thing to believe, but if you're the weakest link, that's a different story. So it's like I'm not gonna judge how they look at it, but I feel like Chris Forrester doesn't even look at ways to improve his group. He just goes with what's out there. That's his problem.
No, yeah, and I mean, unless he's doing something behind the scenes that me and you both don't know. I mean,
Yeah, we're not too aware. Maybe there's something they see in certain players, but just because they look good on that part of the system doesn't always mean they're good players. I mean, there's certain qualities that you'll like about them. Like, if I'm looking for an offensive lineman, I want an aggressive offensive line guy. I want a guy who can actually maul down a defender or at least get super aggressive or a little feisty. I want that
yeah, yeah.
feisty guy. I
You
don't want this guy who just fits the system and doesn't do his job right. It's like, it's one thing to fit the system, but if you can't excel at it, bro, that's where I have a problem. Like, Brendo has been the perfect example of one of those incompetent employees, bro. He can't even get the job right sometimes. He has to be a guy that has to watch. He has to watch from a side and not even do his job, or sometimes he'll be a hit and miss.
No, yeah, and
But
that's the thing though. Like Brendo had that one decent season, but Forster keeps like backing him up, saying that he was good and this and that. But if he really saw that the middle was getting blown up by these top D
yeah,
tackles, it's just like you can't
yeah,
keep backing him up if
you
he's
put him
doing
over
that
a
job.
320. Yeah, you put him over a 320 tackle, D tackle. He ain't gonna hold up well. He's gonna get pushed down. That's the problem. But I mean, they just don't seem to look at it that way. They just say, "Oh, he's not the problem. Oh, we got this and that." I mean, you're just hoping it works out, but it's like, what do you see in this guy that we don't see? They look at it in practice, maybe, or they just look at it because of how they fit the scheme. But I think continuity is what they care about. They don't care about if they need to upgrade the position. They want to get the guys who work well together, if anything else.
No, yeah, that's true. Like locker room type of guys.
Yeah,
I
it comes
don't,
with
I don't,
continuity.
uh,
Yeah.
I don't see a possibility that one season comes that we're not playing to make trades for the deadline. I think we make a trade at the deadline for sure. I don't
Yeah,
know
I
if it's
think
gonna be
it's
a
possible.
splash or what.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's possible we're going to make some trade deadline moves because it's going to be midseason. I think there's going to be a possibility we're going to acquire a certain player, but the question is, what would that position be? It can be one of those surprise moves. So it's like maybe there would be an offensive lineman available, and maybe we'll be able to get this guy. Maybe the team's just not willing to pay this guy. Maybe we're willing to get him a deal. Who knows?
yeah. One thing or the other, but we're for sure gonna be in the business for all that and stuff like that. I mean, I feel like they're gonna be just fine. We're gonna be back to where we were. We got C-Mac back. It's just like we have those type of players once that who want to like go and score. Especially with hopefully our run game back with Christian McCaffrey. I mean, I
Yeah,
think things are gonna get rolling again, especially with Robert Saleh back. I
yeah,
mean, have you seen what they're trying to do now? They're keeping the core guys. They want the leaders on this team. They paid them for a reason. I mean, the only
yeah.
one left to pay is Jawan Jennings.
Yeah, that's the only one that's left to pay, and I think everybody has a question: should they even bother to pay this guy? And I'm going to just say absolutely. Like I think his market value isn't too much right now. Like it's
No,
not
and
even like
I don't think it goes up. I mean, yeah, he deserves his money, but we're gonna get him on a type of deal like we got Demo. Like he's gonna sign early. We're gonna get him maybe mid season. I believe like they're just waiting to see how it plans out.
I think he's willing to bet himself first because I think he's looking at himself and say, you know what, if I have a better season in San Francisco, there's a good chance I can get the $20 million range or maybe around there. But his market value is kind of similar to Jacoby Myers from the
Yeah,
Raiders
for sure.
because I think the
Yeah.
contract similarity and the production wise, I think that's where he might get his contract from. But yeah, I think Niners should find a way to get him a contract because he's more of a tone setter. If some people think he's replaceable, dude, I can't think of another receiver who kind of emphasizes the blocking game seriously. I can't think of a wide receiver who finishes through the whistle and doesn't give a shit.
Exactly. So it's like it'd be hard to replace him.
I
Every
mean,
team
sh-
wants a Jawan Jennings.
I mean, sure, maybe you can replace the talent wise, but dude, this guy loves football. This guy has the intensity. This guy plays to the whistle. You can't replace something like that.
Exactly. So it's just like
Oh, what happened? Something happened. Guess something kind of happened. Yeah, I guess we got to see what happens, man. Guess George has reception issues. My apology, guys. I guess he's got some reception issues. What
my
happened? You have
bad. I got
reception
a
issues?
phone call.
What? Oh, you got a phone call?
Am I back? My bad. I got a phone call, guys.
Oh, it's all good, man. We'll go about 20 more minutes, man. We'll just break down a couple more minutes and all that
Hold
other
up.
stuff, and we're good. Yeah, ooh, got another phone call.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I got you. All right, let's talk about the sleepers, man. Like, there's got to be a player that you feel like is going to break out this season that's going to catch people's attention.
I'm back, but I can't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me?
No. There you
Maybe you
go.
should get
Yeah.
off your phone and then come right back in, and I think you can hear me.
No, you're good. I hear you now.
Okay.
All
So
right, my
let's talk
bad.
about sleepers, bro. Like, talk about somebody that's under the radar that you believe is going to break out this year. Like, you know what? Nobody's going to see it coming.
Offensively or defensively?
Either one. Choose either side.
I think what's his name? The guy we got from the Falcons. The safety, Richie Grant.
Richie Grant, you think he's going to surprise people?
Yeah, because I was a fan of him when he was on the Falcons. I thought he was pretty good, and especially coming into a system like this, I think he's gonna come in and help us out. I mean, Bryce Huff. I mean, he's gonna be
Yeah, Bryce
pretty
Huff could be
good.
another one.
Yeah, I mean, our D line. I feel like he's gonna surprise a lot of people for
Yeah,
sure.
I think for sure. But as far as one that I think is going to surprise people, I think it's going to be D. Winters, man. Everybody's kind of like thinking that maybe Martin might be the guy, but I think D. Winters is more advanced. I think D. Winters is going to show out this year, and I think he's going to like kind of fill that void of what was lost by Drake Greenlaw. I feel like last year was just the beginning of what people were talking about. I think you're going to see more of D. Winters actually show some consistency and finally kind of showcase his potential.
No,
As far as yeah,
I've always agreed on that. My apologies, but I always agreed on that because when we drafted him and when he smacked Will Levis that preseason game versus the Titans, I just
he
knew he
hit.
was. Yeah, he put the boom on him. I was always just like he's gonna be a great linebacker. He's just got to be more longevity in his career.
Get
Like
more opportunities too. He just
yeah,
wasn't getting much playing time. It was a lot of favoritism with Devondre Campbell and all this nonsense. But yeah, I feel like that's the guy that's going to break out because the previous year I was saying Jawan Jennings because I felt like this was his time to break out, and maybe I might have been saying it different times, but I kind of pointed out Lenore a couple years ago, and I said Lenore was going to be that guy, and then I said Jennings was going to be that guy. I believe D. Winters just has that ability to have a breakout season. Is he going to have like a lot of tackles? I wouldn't say. Maybe 110 to 120, maybe because I feel like he's going to get those chances.
No, yeah, and I feel like he's a quick, instinctive linebacker. Like
And
we
he's good in
drafted Nick
coverage.
Martin. We drafted Nick Martin. I mean, for depth. It doesn't
Yeah.
hurt
But
to have depth. But I
one
feel
thing,
like
yeah. Yeah. One thing about Nick Martin that he does so well is he's good against the run. But as far as the coverage, that's where he needs to work on the most. I've seen a lot of his tape, and it's kind of something you got to look at and say, he's a quick reactor. He's
yeah,
physical. He's aggressive. He's going to hit you from the sidelines. But is he going to be a guy that's going to cover well?
no, exactly. And I feel D Winters having what 2 seasons, a couple seasons under his belt with Fred Warner, he's gonna be like that Fred type of guy to just break out. Come out of his shell and just like do what he does. Like Dre Greenlaw was a well household name, but it's like if we gave him the opportunity to come back, to give him money, and he turned it down because he wanted to be that guy. I mean, so be it. Big ups to him. But at the end of the day, I just think uh, Coach Johnny Holland just produces linebackers. I feel like he's gonna
Yeah, he's produced a
develop
lot of good
them.
linebackers by coaching them over the years. I mean, you've seen a lot of qualities. I mean, come on, like Aziz Shair was an undrafted guy. We made him into a stud. I mean, we can go on with a lot of other guys, but Greenlaw, we got him in the 5th round. Nobody knew who he was. I mean, D. Winters is coming into his own. I mean, Nick Martin's got potential, but I feel like there was a lot of hit and miss with a lot of these guys. I mean, I've watched a lot of Nick Martin's tape. I'm just not that high on this guy. And
No,
it kind
yeah,
of sounds kind of harsh and biased because I've seen Oklahoma State play games, and he's not usually the standout guy that I look at the most because my Sooners always tend to torture this guy. He can't cover. He can't cover the running backs. He can't cover the tight ends. You put him in these kind of coverages, Martin kind of gets beat in certain ways. The best quality of Nick Martin's skill set is he's very physical at stopping the run. Like he's quick on those run stops, he's a good run stopper. That's where I've
yeah.
seen his tape mostly stand out. But when it comes to coverage, you can scheme up pretty well on this guy. He cannot cover.
No, yeah, and I understand that, but I feel like once you get to the league, I mean, you just need to get beat a little bit, just to.
Yeah, he's got to advance better in the coverage department. I feel like his physical game is good, but the coverage is where he might want to do better at the next level.
Yeah, and like Rick said that he's on the small side. I mean, then again, Drake Greenlaw was only 6 foot.
Yeah, and he was about 220, so he wasn't that biggest linebacker, but he played with the difference between Greenlaw is Greenlaw wasn't even fast. Martin's fast. Like he runs 4.5 fast. So he's got the speed, he's got the talent. I think that they like his physicality. That's what makes him stand out for them. Was it a reach for him? Maybe, but I feel like
Wait,
maybe they got the next Greenlaw. So
no, for sure. And I feel like I don't know. I felt like there was a lot of more choices we could have done in the 3rd round for even Upton Stout. But I mean, if they see something like we're not in that war room, we're not in that
no, they
draft
look at
room.
guys who fit the mold. Like they look at the physicality level, or they look at the scheme fit. So, here's another guy that kind of could be a breakout player. I think CJ West can do a lot on our run defense. I think he's got potential to get to the quarterback. Like we haven't had a D tackle like this since DJ Jones. So it's like,
No, yeah, for sure. I'm excited to see what we could do. This new revamped D line is gonna be great, especially with that trade we made with Bryce Huff. Like you bring in a guy that we can put in at 3rd downs that with a get off like that, like who could get to the quarterback and fits the wide night scheme. Like it takes off pressure off of Nick, and Nick, we've seen him flourish when he has not much pressure on his side. Not getting taking on a double teams and stuff like that.
yeah, like I think it's going to help our D line get better, and especially stopping the run. But I feel like a guy like CJ West will not only just help our run defense, he would actually take some double teams sometimes because a guy like him, you might have to do more than one person blocking him because I've seen some games where even if you double block this guy, it's not going to matter because he's still going to be able to stop the run. So it's like he's got the perfect size to stop the running game because of how you get those big D tackles, right?
Yeah.
they just have the big size advantage. But when it comes to the undersize, the one thing that undersize have the most advantages, they always say the low man wins.
That's true. That's football knowledge right there. I'm excited for him and Alfred Collins. I'm a big D tackle guy, so
Yeah.
just
Well,
watching their tape.
yeah. When you look at a guy like John Randall and Aaron Donald and Warren Sapp, are they the biggest D tackles? No.
No, they have that 6 foot to 6'2" mold,
6 foot
and
mold, but they play with that undersized mentality, bro. They play with something like you know what? Hey man, I may not be the biggest, but I'm gonna play my heart out there.
no, exactly. So it's like I know early in the offseason we were in the mix to bring back DJ Jones, but then he signed that deal with Denver again. So it's like why not draft our DJ Jones again? So it's like I feel like CJ West is gonna be possibly better than what we had with DJ Jones.
Oh yeah, I think CJ West is. I think DJ Jones was something we lost because we needed a good run stopper, and that's what he brought to the table. And now you see how the Broncos got the most out of this guy. I think CJ West is going to bring more of what we've been missing. But hey, man, let's give a shout out to Carolina Panther guy. Hopefully, we get something going on in the near future. Hopefully, we get something to talk about. But yeah, he's a cool Panthers fan. He's got his own little content. I mean, hey, man, I like to see a good team show otherwise, bro. I know the talks of them kind of been like they've been rebuilding for quite a while. You're
Yeah.
hoping that maybe Bryce Young can break into his own. You're hoping that maybe this young team can get out of the shadow, out of the weakest division. You look at you look at the NFC South, bro. It's one of the trashiest divisions because you only have Tampa Bay as the only team. But Falcons, they've shown that they're not even close to the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Like, at least with Carolina, they are trying. They are trying,
No,
but they still got
exactly.
more pieces to go with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, a little fun fact: I had just came back from Vegas this last week, and I was at the club, I believe Saturday night, and how Trey Morgan, the safety, the former Raider, he was right there partying, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool that the current Panthers right here partying it up and celebrating his birthday.
And from the looks of what he said right here is that, yeah. But I think it had to do with the fact when he got benched, it actually kind of got him to think mentally. For some players, I think getting benched isn't the end of the world because they had to bench him for Dalton. And when Dalton got hurt, then you saw a different mindset of Bryce Young, right? Everybody was listing this guy as a bust. But
No,
sometimes,
yeah,
yeah,
that Panther team is gonna. I feel like they're a little dark horse team just because with Territola McMillan, he's a great receiver. He's a big, nice body.
yeah.
I mean, they have Tommy Tremble over there. They got Xavier Leggett. They got nice pieces, like young pieces too, and they hit a splash in free agency. Like
Nah,
they
but
went
how about the
crazy.
sleeper team? Like, do you really think Carolina is that team, or you think it's another team that might be there? Because if I had to choose a sleeper team, I would say the sleeper team that nobody's even talking about is like, I think this team's gonna get it together, bro, and I think everybody's just not giving them a chance, bro. I this may sound crazy. I think the Chicago Bears might make a noise this year,
Oh
bro,
yeah,
because I don't see
the
Minnesota. I see Minnesota Viking taking a step down with JJ McCarthy. I can see the Packers and the Bears kind of compete between like second place or something. But I think the Bears are going to take strides because of the new coach, right? Because they got Ben Johnson,
Ben
right?
Johnson.
Ben
Yeah.
Johnson can actually get this team quickly turn around, bro. They got the talent.
No,
But I
yeah. I
think
think I think the Bears for sure. I think the Vikings will be like mid tier. I think JJ McCarthy is a great quarterback. I think he's gonna be pretty damn good. But for sure, it's either the Bears or the Panthers for me, just because Bryce Young was playing some good damn football those last couple of months.
yeah, when he got when he was like ever since he was benched, it got him to be a better player
No,
because
exactly. So I'm just like, they could be a team to talk about, even the Bears, because the Bears better be in the damn conversation or do something. Because when you go off and get like Creed Humphrey, those type of players to bolster your offense, it's like you better be putting some points on that damn board. Eh,
yeah, especially when you're investing the offensive line and the receiving core is not that bad, bro. Like, dude, they just got one from the Panthers receiver, DJ Moore, one of the good receivers. They drafted Roma Doomsday. They got the talent, bro. It's like they got the tight end. I mean, what else did Caleb Williams need, bro? I feel like
Yeah,
this team has no
I just feel like
excuses.
they reached on that tight end in the first round. I feel like they could have got him a little later.
But I feel like on their defense, bro. I feel like their defense is gonna make strides, and I feel like the Vikings are probably gonna take a step down right now.
Yeah,
And that's the one thing he even admits, bro. They had to give up that wide receiver just to get Bryce Young. But I feel like when you look at the Bears, bro, I've been saying this the last couple of years that maybe they're just 2 or 3 years away. I feel like this is the year that the Bears are going to finally kind of show it. But I think the Vikings are going to take a step down. And here's my bold take. I think the Commanders are not going to even repeat going to the playoffs. I don't even think Commanders are
yeah,
going nowhere this year. I think this was a fluke year. I think you're going to see a different kind of team. I think you're going to see two NFC West teams make the playoffs this year. And I think you're going to look at the two NFC North teams, maybe a third one because you might have the Packers and Bears in the mix, and then you have the Lions. But I feel like that's what's possible. I just don't see the Commanders repeating the same thing, bro, because everybody was caught off guard on them. I don't know if they can maintain that success.
yeah. I feel like it was just something, rookie quarterback stuff like that. You didn't. It's like baseball. It's a game of baseball or like boxing. You really just gotta like, okay, like what is it this kid's doing that's different? And when they crack down on that, you're gonna have to do different things to win games. But
Yeah,
to the whole Chicago Bears thing, I feel like,
I feel like they're a team on the rise. I feel like they're going to be
yeah,
the one
I
to
feel
make
like
some
Ben
deep
Johnson's
runs.
a good coach. I'm not gonna give him the great title yet, but you just had a squad in with the Lions. You had
They would have got further.
Armand, yeah, you had Amon Ross St. Brown, you had Jameer Gibbs, you had D Monty, you had all this talent. Now you're going to a situation where you basically gotta not build from the ground up. You got pieces. It's like you got to get your touch into it. So it's like everybody's running a new offense.
Yeah, they're running a new offense. But what I know what's not going to change is I think with Philadelphia, they're going to still remain the way they are. It's just a little different on defense. But when you look at a team like, of course, as much as I hate to admit it, like you got to acknowledge the fact that even though Sean McVay and the Rams, they always find ways to be very good. So it's like it doesn't matter what they do. They're still going to make the playoffs, or they're still going to be that most competitive team in that division. So I feel like you're still going to have to give a dogfight with these teams. Then you look at the rest of the teams, like the NFC South. To me, it's the wackest division, but I wouldn't say it's a cakewalk for us because you're going to still play some teams that you don't even expect to lose.
No,
It's
yeah,
like
especially like with our schedule supposedly being the easiest, it's not really the easiest because you got the Bears who got bolstered up. You got like teams in there that bolstered up. It's the NFL. We got to come with it every given Sunday. So it's like we got to come in and like just play our type of ball. Like I feel like Brock Purdy getting this contract, he's gonna come in and just play his game. I don't feel like he'll take a step back or take a step down. I feel like he's gonna flourish with the contract just because he doesn't have to worry about it no more. He we,
okay,
he
that's
has
a
us with the for we he's with us for the next 6 years.
yeah. But let's answer that narrative question, man. Everybody keeps saying, well, since we already paid Brock Purdy, what's he going to do with less talent? Oh, this guy is a check down quarterback. This guy is a system quarterback. You guys overpaid this guy. Why would you pay this guy like almost $60 million, man? This is like paying Dak Prescott money. Like, why would you guys do that? You can get any other quarterback. Like, why will those naysayers say that, bro? It's just beyond me.
No, yeah, it is beyond me, and I just feel like it's just the haters talking.
I can
Like
get Mac Jones play. We can play Mac Jones right now.
oh, and it's just the way I think about it, CG is just like if you really watch football and you've seen like quarterbacks go and step in for good teams. I mean, look at Nick Foles. He stepped in. He did pretty good. He won a Super Bowl with the team.
He
But
won a
then
Super Bowl
you
with Philadelphia
and
with his
then you
great
put
defense.
quote unquote Chase Daniels in. He knew the system, but he still managed to like take a crap on that team. They got out of that playoffs back in like what 2013, 2014. Like
Yeah,
they lost so many games, and it's just like calling him a system quarterback, yeah, that's great. Everybody's system quarterback because you got to learn the system to be
I mean,
good.
you got to be in the system to be successful, right? But not. I mean, the difference between being a system quarterback is you just manage the game so well and you fit well to the offense, and you probably don't excel in different offenses. But if you are mastering that system, then you are the system.
No, exactly, and that's what people don't understand. And it's just like, how are you not gonna pay a kid that literally comes in, steps in, boom, NFC Championship, next
Yeah.
year, boom, Super Bowl? It's just like, bro, the kid deserves his money, and I'm just like, he's already shown it, but there's always gonna be people who are hating.
Oh yeah. Well, there's a reason why he was the last pick of the draft. The guy doesn't have an arm. He's small. He's he just doesn't fit the box, man. Like he went to Iowa State. Who goes to Iowa State, man? Like who like look at him. He throws 5 yards down the field. He doesn't he's a check down guy. He's a Jimmy G 2.0. Like this guy is not good, man. You guys made a mistake by doing the same thing. It's going to be another mistake. See,
I
that's what the
mean,
naysayers are saying. That's what
yeah,
I
that's
keep
the
hearing all the
narrative,
time.
but I mean, if I've been watching football as a kid, I remember watching Drew Brees. They were saying the same thing about him. He went off and won a Super Bowl and was is one of the greatest of all times.
Well, see, this is the funny part, dude. So the other day, the other day when I was on Facebook and other platforms, I kind of made the comparison and I actually used the article of what Drew Brees said about Brock Purdy. And a lot of them kept saying this has got to be fake or AI. And then I show them the actual video, and they go from this is fake to like Drew Brees is a moron. He has concussions or some shit.
No, it's just
Dude, that's
people.
how
The
I flipped the narrative on them, bro. Because at first they're saying this has got to be fake, and then when I show them the video, they said this dude's a moron.
Yeah, it's just like people don't like being wrong, you know? And it's
Yeah.
just like they were talking about, like I said, Drew Brees was getting doubted. Oh, Drew Brees has small hands. Drew Brees can't make the right reads. Drew Brees can't lead
Or
a
yeah, he's gonna
team.
get hurt or something. But he kind of
Yeah.
overcame those odds. Like he overcame a lot of odds. He even overcame an almost a career-ending injury, bro. Because when he was with the Chargers, he had this serious injury, this rotator cuff, where it could have been career-ending, but the
Yeah.
technology changed and a lot of that stuff.
Mm,
And the funny
exactly.
part is, dude, the funny part about the naysayers on Brock Purdy is, bro, like, how is he a check down quarterback if he's the least percentage of it, bro? You can't be a check down quarterback if you throw under 7% of the NFL. So he's like the second least check down quarterback.
And we're gonna talk about check down quarterbacks. I thought Jimmy G was one for sure.
Drew Brees
Eh,
was Drew Brees in his prime, he was always going down the field,
Yeah, exactly. And especially
but he
like
wasn't a scrambler.
if you're a Niner fan now and you've been through was Alex Smith and all that, I haven't
Well,
seen the
yeah,
Niners throw the
Garcia was pretty good, but
yeah.
you had the Timber Tays where he was a one game wonder, and he didn't do shit after that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like I haven't seen the Niners throw deep balls as much as with any quarterback than Brock Purdy. Like Brock is the one that's throwing the deep balls, and I'm only gonna be 25, so I've seen like the worst of it. The last bad
Yeah.
quarterback I got to see was I think it was Jason Campbell.
My apology, bro. Something just happened on my laptop.
No, you're good. I mean,
Nah, my laptop's been kind of acting weird, dude. So I might have to get a new laptop pretty soon because this laptop, bro, I've been having it for a couple years, and this was my dad's old laptop, and he barely used it, but I've been using it for a couple years. The last week, bro, it's kind of been giving me some problems.
no, I feel it. Yeah, my laptop was dead, so I'm on the phone too. So I'm like,
Yeah,
oh.
dude. I might have to get a new one pretty soon, but it's like I was gonna show the naysayers about the video that I saw from Drew Brees because I know every time they were saying it has to be AI or some shit, but I wasn't gonna be able to show it, man. See, this laptop's already telling me to go on my password again. I'm like, shit, what the hell? Don't
No,
you hate when
yeah,
it does it? It's I don't even think it's the reception. I think it's the laptop. It's kind of old and it's starting to like mess up a little bit now.
no, yeah, I feel that for sure.
Yeah. And it happens, bro. So I might have to start using my phone until this shit gets fixed. But the problem with this phone is I'm probably gonna have to get a new phone also because I've had this phone for a couple years. So I'm gonna have to upgrade my stuff on here because this phone I had it for. I would say I had this phone since like I guess 2021. It's been in really good shape.
I mean that.
I
I
don't try to
mean,
yeah, I don't try to invest a lot of these expensive phones, but the Samsung Z Fold's kind of been working consistently good for a while.
yeah,
But they got these new phones, so I might have to upgrade it by next week or something.
yeah, that's
Laptop's gonna
good.
laptop's gonna probably have to be upgraded pretty soon. But man, this quality just sucks right now because of this laptop is starting to get old and I don't know, like this was probably something my dad had for a while, but he never used it as often, and I was able to keep it as a gift like a couple years ago.
Yeah,
But never like it like don't get me wrong, the quality's pretty decent, but it's just I think it's getting older, so it's like probably
I
have to
mean,
change it
I
up.
get it
Yeah.
though. Sometimes we just need that upgrade.
Yeah. Man, dude. And I guess from what my friend Jerry was saying, dude, he must have saw me go off the reception the last two shows, dude. The last two shows I've had this issue also. So it's like I was doing the round check the other day and I kept going off two times, bro. And I'm like, shit, what the fuck? It kept
No,
going twice.
I feel that just because my laptop's getting old too. But I mean, I'm not in school no more, so the laptop. I mean, I'll use it when I hop on like this.
Yeah. I'm probably just gonna be able to like probably wait until a couple months and maybe just use my phone for right now. But I'm probably gonna get more of a better quality phone service too. So this phone's kind of been good for. I gotta say, it was at least a good 4 year run with this phone.
Nice. That's amazing because some people can't even last a year.
Nah, they can't. I actually took care of this phone the longest, and usually the one thing I take the most pride on is I actually take care of a phone this long, bro. I treat it like it's my own baby.
Yeah, I feel that.
The only downside of it, bro, is like I was working in the rain, bro, so it's kind of hard to protect it, but it wasn't like the bad condition, so it's all right.
Yeah, I mean that's true. I mean it came out good though, huh?
Yeah, you can still get the service. I can still do this and that. It's just yeah, it's been like 4 years for this one, so yeah, man. But yeah, I think we covered pretty much everything that we had to say, bro. Like, I think we're gonna have to wait and see what happens, man. But yeah, I'm probably gonna have to use my phone until I get a new laptop because this one doesn't look like it's working decent.
Not
Maybe I
yet.
have to do, yeah,
Sounds good. I mean, we'll get back on here, talk a little bit more when more action happens. Not right
yeah,
now. Nothing too crazy has happened.
yeah, nothing too crazy. So maybe the following week, or maybe next week, we'll see if something pops up. But I don't think it's gonna be a lot. So we'll
Sounds
probably
good.
just wait.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's good to catch up and get you back to speed again because I know there's been those other weeks we kind of had our schedule in. I didn't want to. I want to make sure when I get on the show, I want to be at my 100%. I don't want to like slack off and say, "Oh, I don't feel like it." But dude, I was like the other day, I was so tired and I was like, "Shit." I was gonna do a show, but I was already filling another shift, and I didn't get out until like 12 or something.
No, yeah, I feel it, bro. Like we gotta,
I
we
mean,
gotta.
they had me work until 8 in the morning, but I had to fill in a 4 hour shift extra. And then by the
Yeah,
time I would message you, I said, "Dude, can we do it like tomorrow or something?"
yeah,
And then you said, "No, we could do it next week." And I was like, "All right, cool."
yeah. I mean, I feel it though. Like we want to be 100%. Give these viewers what
Yeah,
energy that they want to see.
yeah. And it's not like I was giving up on my energy, bro. It's just my schedule's kind of been killing me a lot. So it's been like It's not like I'm lazy like I used to, but it's more like you got to put the effort in at times.
No, I feel it.
Yeah,
But no,
but-
yeah, I'll let you go, man. I'll let you get to it, just because I got the cousins waiting outside. We're barbecuing and stuff like that.
All good, man. We'll figure out something to follow. We'll talk next week or something, like maybe the following week or whatever works for you.
Sounds good. I'll see you guys later, guys.
All right, guys. You guys have a good one. Let's call it a day.